People from complex trauma and codependency often believe that their happiness depends on another person's happiness. Then this becomes their sole focus, their meaning and purpose. Then they become like a radar, looking out for danger, looking out for signs that this person is going to leave them. And then because they're so externally focused, they forget how to look internally, and all their own needs and wants all go out the window. They essentially forget what they want because they're so focused on the other person. Now, in a codependent relationships, you usually have an enabler and a narcissist. And the longer that this relationship goes on for, the worse the enabler will be treated, and the more superior the narcissist will feel that they are. So as your sense of worth and your identity gets further ripped away, they use this as their advantage. And they use this to constantly put more on you and take more from you. During childhood, you may have had a narcissistic parent tell you that you are so selfish for having your own needs and wants. So they put shame on you, and this caused you to turn inside yourself. But because you don't like yourself, you thought to yourself, how can I feel good about myself? And that is through other people's eyes. So if other people look at me good, well, that means I'm good. And now this starts a vicious cycle of getting into a relationship one after the other, because if I'm not in a relationship, that means I'm unlovable and I can't deal with that. And I'm only lovable when I'm with somebody else. So now, in hopes that they don't find out who the real me is, and because they won't like that person, I have to wear a mask. The problem is, if I'm wearing a mask and they don't know the real me, then there isn't an authentic connection. And there's every chance that the relationship is just going to become transactional, where one is the rescuer coming in on the white horse to save the other person. Then the other person gets lost in self-helplessness because they've both found a way that they can get their positive validation. And now, because you're so focused on doing everything for the narcissist, when you have any sort of wants or needs of your own, you automatically feel guilty. During childhood, you learn not to talk, feel, or trust. The problem is that helped you survive physically as a child, but now you're an adult. They are actually the hallmarks of what it takes to be in a healthy relationship. But the problem is you don't know how to do that. You don't have a map for that. And in this dance of wounded souls, the only way to heal from this is to put work in. Otherwise, the patterns just keep repeating. This is going to be a first of many of a new series on complex trauma and codependency that I'm going to do. It's going to be very similar to all my other videos, except it's just going to have a little bit more of a structured approach, just not whatever's on my mind at any given time. So I'll try and post every couple of days, and they will be numbered, part 1, part 2, and so on. I hope they help. It's just going to be non-clinical in hopefully an easy way that you can understand that validates your experience.